Hello interwebs, welcome to Let's Fix Computers. I've got a Xiaomi notebook here. This is a Horizon Edition 14 and it doesn't power on. So let's plug in a charger here and just see what we get. Whoop. So I'm plugging in a Type-C charger. I've just realised my view is upside down. Rotate! There we go. Okay, so as you can see, we had like 800 milliamp draw from the charger for a bit, and then it just fell off and died. So that's not a short circuit, but it powered up for a moment, and then it just decided not to bother anymore. We're not seeing any kind of sign of it charging the battery or anything like that. And looks like it's not going to try and do anything else either. So, alright, so there was something and then there was nothing. It tried to turn on and then didn't. So let's start by taking the back cover off of this, and we'll do a visual inspection on the inside and see if we can spot anything. So I'm going to roll the intro while I take these screws out. I'll see you in a moment, everyone. Alright, so someone's been in here before. The battery is already disconnected. So this seems like a good time to provide some supplementary information about this laptop. The customer says that it's spent a lot of time in India, where apparently it's a bad power supply. Another shop had theorized that just poor power supply, poor quality power had damaged the device. And, you know, I could believe that. However, there's something going on here. Okay. So, you know, there might have been power spikes and ripple and stuff like that that has damaged this. And another shop decided that they weren't able to fix it. So, that's obviously where the battery's been left unplugged. So that's why I wasn't trying to charge. We've got a real-time clock battery underneath the SSD here that we can disconnect, and also there's something going on with what I think is the DC power input. I'm just gonna take some screws out and just come under the microscope and just show you what I'm looking at here, because that's giving me pause for thought. So here's our DC jack coming into the laptop. We've got a bit of a kinked cable there, and then it goes into this connector. And as you can see, those terminals look pretty sketchy. I don't know whether someone has already attacked those with a soldering iron, or whether they're just burnt by some other means. Either way, it doesn't look very good. Now, there can't be anything catastrophically bad there, because, you know, like, it wasn't showing short circuit. That would have knocked out my charger. But, you know, let's take some measurements and see what's going on. So let's put our black probe on that screw hole, and you can see here that that connects, sludge all on my probes. So you can see here that that connects back to these two pins. So these two pins should be ground. So should have 0 there. Oh man. Yeah, there we go. And same going for that one. Yep, 0 there. And it looks like that also comes down to the back of this TVS diode as well. So these are positive connections. Let's just make sure that those aren't shorted to ground. I can't see a world where they would be. Otherwise, we'd know that that's a thing when we try and plug it in. But yeah, 300 kilo ohms. So that's about standard. And likewise, we should see about the same on the back of this TVS diode as well. Yeah, also 300. So this diode, this pad here will connect through to here, probably on the other side of the board. So, okay, so that input seems okay. I wonder what those solder blobs are then. Maybe someone's tried to jumper wire some power into the board. Let's pull out and carry on looking at the rest of the board, because I think we're going to have to take it out to see what's going on. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to plug in the battery and see if the laptop charges, because that tells me something as well. So the battery is now connected. Let's plug our charger back in and see what it does. Alright, well, there's battery charge. So we've got just shy of 3 amps going in there. And then once again, it's cut off. But it did try and do something with the battery connected. Alright, fine. But we still had that same cutoff after a few moments. So something there is unhappy. I'm going to take out the SSD and I'm going to unplug the RTC battery. And we'll just let the BIOS reset. I don't think this is as simple as that, but we're going to start with the simple stuff first. Right, that has had a couple of moments to rest. Let's see what it does. Going to check what that actual RTC battery is reading as well while we're here. .84. That's pretty low. That might even be our problem. Hold on, I'm just going to change that. Oh, is this the wrong connector? Darn. Alright, time to commit crimes. Right, let's try that again. And no, I did not just solder the leads onto a CR2032. How dare you, and we're not talking about this anymore. Let's see if that's made any difference at all. Alright, so we've got that sort of 600-ish milliamps of power draw again, and it's dead again. Yeah, okay, so that's not it. Okay, so while we've got this plugged in, let's just trace some of the power. So I'm going to put my black probe on a screw hole, and I'm going to see where this power appears. So we've got power coming in at the DC jack. And let's see, I'm going to take some stabs over here. Right, there's nothing going into the battery. Let's check the input FET to the battery. There's 20 volts there. So we have got 20 volts onto the main power rail. I'm going to dig a little deeper into this laptop and get this motherboard out. I'm not really seeing anything inspiring, so we're going to get the motherboard out and see if I can spot anything from there. If nothing else, hopefully it will give me more access to other areas, and I can look at this properly and start checking individual power rails and stuff, I guess. Something must be going up and then coming down again. A whole load of heat shielding. Well, there's a lot of grot under here. Let's just move the chassis out of the way, because this is going to shower that grot everywhere. Looks like it's been in a bush. Thermal paste is pretty dry, so it may have just overheated and cooked itself. Right, I'm going to plug it in while I point the thermal camera at it and see if anything lights up. Pow. Yeah, so the CPU is turning on there. That's not burning hot yet, but it is turning on. Is that staying on? I think it is. I'm going to unplug that. That's the longest we've seen it stay on for. Okay, let me just try putting the heatsink back on that. Yes, I know I haven't put new thermal paste on, but we're not that far along yet. If the laptop is actually working and we get a post out of it, then we'll bother changing the heatsink. The thermal paste even. Alright, so now it's not going to catch fire. Let's just try that again. Now, looks like that's staying on now. Okay, well, have I magically fixed it then? Okay, the power draw just dropped out, just dropped off a bit, but it didn't switch off. It may have just gone into like a standby mode, where it's sitting on no boot or something like that. We actually turned on. Let's plug in a chipmunk. Yeah, came on, and that was a flash from the chipmunk as well. So, yeah, it's on. It's working. Okay then. Well, let's put it back in the laptop and see if it actually does something. All right, let's do a midpoint check to see if it's still working after I've put it back in the chassis. We're not ready for a full power on yet, but let's just see if that's improved things. See, now it's cutting off again. So there's something we're plugging in the chassis that's causing a problem here. All right, let's start with the screen then. So screen disconnected. Plug it back in. Okay, cuts out, so it's not the screen. Let's unplug the keyboard. There we go. So it stays on when the keyboard is unplugged. So it looks like we've got a bad keyboard in that case. I wonder if I open it up at the moment, if we'll get a picture. Doesn't look like much at the moment. Nothing on the screen. Oh no, there it goes. It posted. No bootable devices. Okay. So what happens if I plug in the keyboard? Okay, so I'll unplug the keyboard again. So now the problem is will it work with a new keyboard? That's the question. All right, I'm going to see if I can find a replacement keyboard. All right, I'm back with a new keyboard, fresh from AliExpress. So we now need to do a full strip down of this laptop so we can get the keyboard out. Before I go to all of that trouble, I'm going to plug the new keyboard in and see if it actually works. It's been a couple of weeks since I've worked on this laptop because it took a week or two for this keyboard to come in. So yeah, I kind of hope this is going to work. Let's find out before I go through all of the hassle. Right, kind of hard to show what's going on here, but here goes nothing. So, charger plugged in. No light. We've got a power light on the power button, though. Yeah, there we go, it's turned on. So I'll just make sure that actually starts up. I can't remember what it was doing before I stopped recording in the previous session, but I'm fairly certain that it was not switching on with the keyboard connected. So, yeah, that looks pretty promising to me. And it's come up with the login prompt. So I'm just going to go ahead and unplug that. Great, so we know that the keyboard's going to do the job now. Let's get to fitting it. Here we go, everyone. We're gonna need a montage. Montage. Even Rocky had a montage. Montage. Dun dun. Bow bow. Wah. Good. Get out. Right, now the new one goes in. And of course it fits. Right, now I'm going to put all of those screws back in again. Whew. Alright, I haven't done a keyboard like that since I've done the old unibody MacBooks. All those screws are a pain in the ass, but I don't hate them because it's better than heat staking. A lot of small screws can just be unscrewed. Heat staked keyboards are horrid. Alright, let's get this back together again and we should be on for a winner. Right, we've got a charge light on the side, we've got a power light, and we have a post logo. That's us sorted, everyone. We also have a please wait because I didn't shut it down properly, so now it's going to sulk, but that's fine. Right, that is all done. So, yeah, faulty keyboard. Faulty keyboards, pretty straightforward to deal with once you've actually diagnosed it. The issue is just actually thinking about it could be the keyboard. So, yeah. Also lucky that I was able to find one of these on AliExpress, because the problem with these, I say off brands, it's not like Xiaomi is an unknown brand, but I think this is the first time I've seen a Xiaomi laptop. They're not common in the UK. So yeah, kind of lucky that I was able to find the replacement keyboard for that. That's the biggest problem when dealing with a brand like this. Most other brands, you know, HP, Dell, stuff like that, the keyboards and parts are widely available on eBay. But yeah, finding the parts, that's the tricky bit. In any case, thanks for watching and tuning in, everyone. Thank you as always to all my supporters and patrons, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye for now.